Hello! In the previous videos, we set up a Kubernetes cluster with two Kubernetes nodes successfully. However, the two nodes have different architecture. The primary node is a Raspberry Pi with ARM processor. The second one is a virtual machine on my desktop using an AMD Ryzen processor. When you deploy the Docker image built on the Raspberry, it can be successfully deployed on the primary node, but you see similar error message if you try to deploy it to the other node with different architecture. But how these images are built and how can we see more information about the architecture? Let's run docker manifest inspect command. These metadata are stored in the manifest of the image. There you can see that this image was built for ARM platform. Okay, so how to build images for multiple architectures? We can find hints in the official Docker documentation. We have to build images to different platforms and put them together somehow, then merge the manifest files. There is a hard way. Building images for all platforms. Merge the manifest files and push them to the registry. This approach needs multiple steps. A lot of steps because you can build an image only for one platform. Or there is a simple and better way to do the same with one command. This feature is called buildx. Unfortunately, it's still experimental and you can find it only in the newest versions of Docker. That's why the first step is to remove Docker from our server, which was installed from the official Ubuntu repositories, and install it from the official Docker package repository. This task is easy, just follow the documentation. Uninstall the old version, add a new repository, and reinstall it from there. One more step is needed to be able to build multi-arch images, some emulators, as our Raspberry knows only how to build images for ARM platform. You can install all emulators with one command, so just run it and this problem is solved. The last step is to modify our build script. We won't use docker build anymore. We have to replace it with docker buildx. As this feature is experimental, maybe you have to enable experimental features. I had to do it, but with the current version of Docker, it's not necessary anymore. The default builder would build an image only for Raspberry, so we have to create a new builder and bootstrap it. The build would still use the default. We can change this behavior with docker buildx use command and set here our new builder. Now it's time to build the image, tag it, push it to the registry with the help of buildx. It can be achieved with one command. We can specify the platforms for the image. I don't want to build for all platforms. It's enough if I can deploy my image to ARM and AMD platforms. So let's redeploy our CI/CD container and run the whole build process with this modification. Our CI/CD container is built, deployed. Now the build process for the application will start. Cloning the code, log into the registry, and the build process starts. Here you can see that it started building for the specified platforms. The image is ready, deployed on our Kubernetes nodes. Let's check the result. If I check the manifest file, now I see that the image was built for 2 platforms. Let's check the Kubernetes nodes. I start up Octant. Both nodes are online and ready. You can see the different architectures here. And what about our application? It's deployed on both nodes. Both are green. It seems to be okay. But I'm curious what I find in the logs. Hopefully, not an error message as before. I see that the proper image was pulled and deployed. And the logs are also fine. The application is running. If we check the primary node, we should see the same. Very good. It's the same. It means that we solved the problem. Both nodes are working. We can add to our cluster nodes with different architectures and combine them as we need. It's possible to build an image which can be deployed everywhere. Thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe to my channel and give a feedback in the comment section.